Hey, in this episode of Ask Aaron, I'm going to blend into the background because I've just realized I'm wearing green on green. No, I'm joking. In this episode of Ask Aaron, I'm going to share with you my number one, my core concept and philosophy when it comes to SEO for brands' ability to rank online, to improve their organic marketing. It's incredibly important, and the amount of times I've asked this question, we're talking hundreds of times, and the transformative effect it has had on brands that then have that light bulb moment when they have that realization and they kind of think of things differently and go, I've never really thought of that. It's very, very powerful, and I'm going to share it with you today. I'm going to challenge you on this video. That's what we're going to cover in this episode of Ask Aaron. Let's get into it. So look, the number one thing that I ask of every single brand that I ever talk to from that initial phone call, from that initial conversation, is I say, do you deserve to be number one in the search results? Do you deserve to rank? What is it about your brand that makes you special? Show me on your website why you deserve to be number one. And so I want you to just take a minute and have a think. What is it about your brand that makes you deserve to be number one? Because I'll tell you now, Google does not care how long you've been in business. It does not care how many testimonials you have. It does not care about the service or the product or how amazing your office is or how amazing your store is or how long you've been going or how many happy clients you have. It doesn't, for the most part, really care about any of that stuff. What Google cares about is the expertise that you have. So often what's in your head, what's in your team's heads, why you are in business, the product you sell. What it cares about is the value that you can add. Now, for every single brand, there's a reason you're in business. You're providing a product, you're providing a service, a solution. There's a reason you're in business. There's a reason people pay you money to ultimately acquire whatever it is you do or provide or service or whatever. And Google, as a search engine, wants the expertise that sits beneath the commerciality and the commercial reasons for why you're in business. Now, I'll explain this because fundamentally, Google, as a search engine, wants answers to questions. And as business owners, we fundamentally want something very different. We want to sell more of our products, more of our services. So Google as a search engine is over here, and we're as a business owner here. Fundamentally, we want two very different things. And that is often a problem. And so what I say and what I challenge brands, I say, well, do you deserve to be number one? And the answer I have to get, well, yeah, because we've been going for 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, and we're the biggest and we're the best, and our product range is the most extensive, or we're the cheapest, or we're this, or we're that, or there's a reason. And fundamentally, those arguments, whilst valid, all sit on the side of me, the business, my product, my service, about us side of the brand. Google doesn't really care about that stuff. It wants you to be an information resource. So in order to deserve to rank number one and deserve to leapfrog your competitors, what you've got to do is firstly understand that, and then challenge yourself to say, well, are we doing a better job than our competitors at being that source of expertise, that authority online, that expert in our field? Are we providing more value than the next person, than our nearest competitor? Is our website doing a better job? Now, Google, in its decision of where you're going to rank on the search results, and it's all just a ranking order. Google thinks what it thinks is the best is number one. What it thinks is second best is going to be second place, and so on and so forth. Now, Google, for the most part, is not coming into your office. It's not going into your stores. It's not reviewing your products. It's not coming and talking to your team or going and talking to your customers. Yes, it's gaining those insights from reviews and so on, which we'll come on to, but it's not doing that. So all Google has to go on when deciding where you're going to rank and how you compare versus the next competitor and the next competitor is what you put on your website. And fundamentally, brands treat their website as a shop window. It's a place to showcase your products, your services. And often what we do as business owners, and you'll probably recognize this, is we put our products on our website. We list our services on our website, and we talk about ourselves on our website, right? We have, a team page, an about us page. We tell our story. We talk about how long we've been going. We feature reviews and all of that stuff. We have a lot of me content. So it's all about us and our brand. And then we flood it with, and here's our product, buy our products, here's our offers, here's our promotions, here's our this, that, and the other, here's our services. Those two things are great. And we, of course, need those because we want to sell more of a product, we want to grow our businesses. But when you actually think of it this way of do we deserve to be number one, do either of those things actually tie into what Google wants? Not really, right? Google will value those two things, but it's missing the third cog in the wheel, which is, are we an information resource? Are we sharing our value? Because Google wants the answers to questions. Google wants the expertise that you have, the reason you're in business. It wants those pearls of wisdom, those insights and the ideas, the innovation that you have, which is the reason you're in business. It wants that. It wants to be able to provide and utilize your website to be able to answer the questions that users are going onto Google to search for. So what we have to work with the brand, and the reason I challenge them, I say, well, do you deserve to be number one? What I mean by that is I say, show me. And often they'll go, well, yeah, because we've got these products or we've been going this long. And I say, but that's great. But that fits into those first two cogs. Show me the third cog. Oh, well, we've got a blog, and then but it's pie in the sky in terms of what they're writing, and it's very infrequent and it's not particularly good, and it's not got a clear strategy around it. And I say, so do you deserve to be number one based on the content that you're sharing? Okay, that's a more tricky question. That's a more of a, well, now it's not quite, I don't feel quite so comfortable. And therein is the point, because you've got to become an information resource. You've got to become the expert in your field. You've got to become the authority, so that when someone has a question, when they want some advice, when they want some expertise, when they have a need, when they want that trusted source of experience, of expertise, of knowledge, Google will refer to your website and go, well, that website is just the best out there. It's providing the most in-depth information, education, advice, expertise. And it doesn't happen overnight. But when you provide that content consistently, you become the authority. And you can do that in a myriad of different ways. You can write, you can record videos like I'm doing. You can do all these different ways, whatever you feel comfortable doing. It doesn't have to be, it could be one of your team. But as a business, as a brand, you have got to feed the machine, feed the algorithm what it wants, and in turn, it will give you more of what you want. So you become an information resource, and it will love that content. And then what it will do in turn is it will then utilize and leverage the stuff that is about you and your products, because it will have a reason to go, yeah, you do deserve to be number one, because you are demonstrating your authority, your expertise, that you're a trusted expert in your field. And that you have a product or a service that's genuinely valuable, and you're answering people's questions. Because fundamentally, we break it all down. That's what Google is, a search engine. We go on it to search for answers to questions because we have a need. We want a solution. We want some advice. We want the answer to something. And so if we feed the machine what it wants, it in turn gives us what we want. It's a very simple philosophy, but it's something I challenge the brands, because every brand says to me, we want to grow by this or that. We want to do this. We want to grow. And I go, great. Do you deserve to be number one? And they're taken aback. And that's what I want you to think about, and challenge yourself and challenge your team. Do you deserve to be number one? And be really hard on yourselves and be really critical of yourselves. Because if you're wanting to grow, if you're looking enviably at a competitor and think, well, why are they winning? What is it they're doing that we're not? It will be because they have something on their website that Google sees as more valuable than what you have. So Google sees them as more of an authority, as more of an expert. So there'll be something on their website that Google says, do you know what, that's really valuable. Because if they've got nothing of value, they will not rank top, right? And, there are a few exceptions where they talk, your Amazons of this world, but as a general rule of thumb, for most brands, they will have something of real value on their website. This is the caveat to all of this, is if it's a website that is just ranking for brand. If they just have a strong brand, absolutely you can rank for brand without much beyond just your brand, because Google's going, well, I'll rank you for the brand because that's for the default. I guess the prerequisite for all of this is if you're wanting to increase your visibility for non-brand, which is really the growth of brands. So does that make sense? You need to become that information resource. And if you want to understand, well, who's the best out there right now, Google search what you want to be found for at the topic level, and then who's there. And then you go, well, why are they beating us? Go and find what they've got, what's ranking for them, because I guarantee they'll have something. And they'll be doing it they'll be doing it better than you. Would have been doing it longer than you. But you can use that as a line in the sand that, okay, well, I need to use that as my inspiration, use that as I'm going to take that, I'm going to build upon it. Or if I look at that, I think they've just done a smashing job of that, I can't beat that, move on to the next topic, look at the next thing that you can do, where you can go, do you know what, this is amazing. And what you can do, you can take this philosophy of well, do we deserve to be number one? Into your next meeting and challenge your team. And when you're having those conversations, you flip the whole SEO conversation on its head. And rather than it be, well, our SEO isn't working and do we need to do more keyword research, or we need to build more links, or we need to write more content, before you get in any of that, just ask yourself, well, do we deserve to be number one right now? No? Why not? You know, or if the answer is, yeah, of course we do. Well, do we actually? Why? Prove to me, show me how we deserve to be as a brand. What are we doing that makes us deserve to be that number one result in the search results? If you can't, then that's where you start and you go, well, okay, we know we don't. No, we don't deserve to be number one. Who is number one? Why are they number one? Right, let's use that as a linchpin, as inspiration to then push on. And just doing that, it works. It works every single time. And you can take this as a principle, as a philosophy. You can deploy it into your brand. You can start. You don't have to have all of this figured out right now. You can just start and go, well, okay, let's choose a topic, let's choose a category, let's choose an area of our business, and let's go to town and really become an authority on that. And that in turn will start to, you will see it. We see it. There's normally within 3 to 6 months of focusing, of going, we're going to become more of an authority and deserve to be number one for that as a topic. We see it. It's as predictable as the sun rising tomorrow. You see it within a few weeks, few months, depending on how competitive your industry is. You start to see, okay, we're starting to increase our visibility. Our products are starting to rank, our services are starting to rank. We're starting to rank for some of those buying terms. It's because you're feeding the algorithm what you are deserving to become number one. Even if you're not number one, you're on the path to be deserving to get there. Google sees that with consistency, it recognizes it, and then it goes, okay, yeah, do you know what? You're giving me what I want. I'm going to give you a little bit more of what you want. With this SEO stuff, everyone loves to overcomplicate. Everyone loves to make it out like it's a dark art. Oh, it's this secret sauce. No, it's really logical. It's really simple. You just got to be consistent, and you've got to ask yourself good old-fashioned marketing principles. And in this case, it's, do we deserve to be number one? So if you're not number one, ask yourself, do we deserve to be number one? And now you know how to go and figure that out. And if you're not, you also know what to do with it. Hope it's useful. I will see you on the very next episode of Ask Aaron. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, then give us a like. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you very soon. All the best. Take care.